welcome to Complex Pixel Volume 2 with your boy Pixelbit G. Today, we will go over the complex story of Port Beggars, Barren Lands, and Goalpost Moves. Goalpost movie. Ah, it's been an interesting week. I think there's a few interesting things to talk about, so let's start here. A case of port beggars. We are going to switch to a slightly different view here. Hiya, I'm on the side now. As we go through some of the interesting things that happened on X this week, particularly the beginning of the week, which started off nice and strong right at the beginning of the year with some of the most nonsensical crap I could think of. But hey, we don't stop. The game don't stop. And the so-called console war continues. So let's start with my guy here. Trusted reviews. Ignore the face and the name. I don't care about that. What I care about is the non-logical crap coming out of his mouth. So here, we're gonna start the week saying that here's why Xbox should ditch exclusives. The one thing that actually helps to drive people to a platform. It may not be the only thing people play, but it certainly is the one thing that you can use to bring people into your platform and say, hey, this, Xbox flavor, come get some of this, right? So you see the headline, you think, okay, this guy's just clickbaiting. But he then goes in and he starts off pretty much ending his debate where it starts, right? So he says, I, for one, say that the main reason I purchased the PS5 over the Xbox Series X was so I can play the likes of Marvel Spider-Man, God of War, and the next Naughty Dog project on the first day of release, as these are some of the highest rated game franchises of the last few years. So now I have questions, because if your stance, why are you saying that Xbox should give up and ditch its exclusives when the whole reason you purchased your platform of choice, which is clearly the PlayStation, is exclusives? This is basically a fanboy fever dream, to which I say, seriously? This is what we're doing? I think I'm gonna be using that like every week, because there's always gonna be somebody posting something that makes no common sense. And this is the kind of crap that makes no common sense. You basically say that you buy a platform because you want those exclusives, and then you are complaining or saying that Xbox should ditch its exclusives. For what reason? The only reason a Sony fanboy like this dude would be wanting Xbox to ditch its exclusives so that he can get it on his preferred platform. And we all know that's not the game, right? The game is to have some kind of exclusions on your platform in order to drive people to it. So to you, my boy at Trusted Reviews, I say, miss us with your BS. You sound goofy. You sound stupid. You should stop. We then go and look at his the bio for this site, right? Because I want to know who these people are. What do they think, right? You're basically claiming that your review site should be trusted, and it was founded in 2003, and it is unbiased and independent advice on what to buy. But you are then showing me that you are clearly biased, and I shouldn't trust anything you say. And guess what? I won't be. And that's how we solve that problem. Because seriously, if you only brought one platform, you shouldn't worry about what's on the other platform. If you cared about that other platform, there's a solution for you. Yeah, just buy an Xbox or buy a PC or shut up because you sound crazy. So we'll move on to the next one. Now, let's talk about barren lands and Goalpost, the wonderful, wonderful world of goalpost, which people love to move, it seems. So this week we've had, I guess, reality setting in for certain fans that their platform of choice is only going to provide them with so many games this year, and most of which are not first party. In fact, pretty much none of those games are first party. So instead of just accepting the L that they pretty much created for themselves, they instead have decided that they are going to try to change the narrative. And they're going to say that these third party games matter the same amount as first party games, which is absolutely hilarious considering that you've spent the majority of, like, I don't know, 7 years proclaiming that only first party matters, and Xbox only has Halo, Gears, and Forza, into Xbox got no games, right? You can't move the goalposts late in the game now that the game isn't working in your favor. It's not how it works. You play the game by the rules that you set, and as the so-called leader of clowns, y'all set the rules, and now you got to eat the crow. It should be tasty. You should, get some hot sauce or something, put it on there heavy and good, and eat it up, because we're not going to let you change the rules of engagement now that the rules don't work in your favor. Sorry, that's not how this works. The reality is that Sony got no games. Their first party is MIA, straight up missing, and we haven't seen most of them in years. We know that Insomniac is the only one putting out average content, average to good, even if you overrate it, like Spider-Man was. Which, by the way, Spider-Man 2, decent game. About 60% of it sucks. Very, very much been there, done that. And then 40% towards the end of the game, it starts lighting up. Which, give me a game with just the 40% at the end, and you'll have earned a 90. In reality, but whatever. So they, are now going on their podcasts and shows and proclaiming that third party is just as good. I mean, it's a game that they got and they paid for. But the reality is, you haven't paid for those games. You paid for a publishing deal, or you've paid for marketing for those games, majority of which you haven't paid development for. Not really. Right? You may have assisted with it, but it's not your game, right? It's owned by a third party, and the IP is owned by a third party as well. So we're not going to allow you to change the rules of engagement, right? It's either first party or bust. So better luck next year, y'all, because 2024 is looking suspect for Sony. Sorry, you ain't got no games. You ain't got no first party. First party's missing, and until they show up, that's the narrative. You're not going to be able to change it because nobody's going to let you change it. Sorry. That's how it works. All right. Next up, Xbox. Don't be soft. Because, stepping on rakes is what the Xbox brand likes to do, apparently. But let's think about it. Let's assess it. So this week it's coming out that Microsoft wants to, or may put one of its acclaimed first party games on another platform. We currently don't know what the platform is. We currently don't know what the game is, but there are quite a few assumptions floating around for both, right? Many people think that it will be Hi-Fi Rush going over to the Nintendo Switch, which, I don't know. It's kind of debatable how bad that is, how bad that looks on the Xbox brand. You can be assured, however, that if any of those games go over to PlayStation, it's a massive L for Xbox, and y'all look stupid. At some point, you have to be willing to make people come to your platform. You got a pass last time when you decided to move everything to PC Anywhere, to play anywhere, right? So we can play on PC. I thought that was great because as a guy who switches between console and PC, I love being able to get access to my Xbox console games on PC, play them on a better hardware. I can cross save. I can get cross progression of my games, everything kind of works seamlessly, that's great. But I don't think that you should dilute your brand by moving content over to other platforms. And if you do, you better be very selective about which platform it is. The rule of thumb at this point better be nothing on PlayStation. Like it's just it is what it is. There's not like some game exchange going on where they're fairly giving you content and it's kumbaya, right? So if they're basically still fighting you on Activision even when you've already given them COD, you know, Sony is non grata. You should not. They are the enemy as far as you should be concerned, and you should be looking to take them off the map, not share nothing with them. So, if anything from, um, Bethesda's lineup, especially a new IP like Hi-Fi, ends up on PlayStation, you sound stupid, and you should not do it. You know, you should not do it. You sound stupid. You better not do it. The Nintendo slant is a little different, only because it's like there really isn't a direct competition for Nintendo. But on some levels, you kind of have to question like when does Xbox gain anything from that? You're not improving Game Pass by putting that content in on a Switch. You're just not. Nobody's gonna buy it on Switch and then say, "Oh, let me go to Xbox and join that Game Pass." Why would they do that? You just gave them one of the best games on the platform. What would make them switch over? The way you make people switch over is by advertising to them, by letting them know that it's out there, like showing them that this great content is only on these platforms. And if you want to get a piece of it, you should come to those platforms, right? There's a simple solution to get people to come over to your platform, and it's by standing on your square and telling them this, right? Buy an Xbox. It's a simple concept, but it seems like, you know, folks over at Redmond can't seem to understand that that's, how you should do it. Stop all this. We want to play nice with y'all crap. It's clear they don't want to play nice with you. So, you know, after, all the port begging in the beginning, after all the nonsense with not Redfall, Blade, right? You gotta wonder if Xbox really understands. Like, listen, like people who really deal with your platform are expecting some type of loyalty. Like it goes kind of both ways, right? They support the platform, they buy the content. If you want more people on your platform, you have to find a way to drive them to it. And the way you do it is not by giving content to other platforms, right? So I know like years ago Ori did it, right? But Ori was technically a third party, second party, right? Even if Microsoft has like a weird arrangement with Moon Studio, it still seemed a little different. Whereas this is a case where this is 100% a first party, right? You may get away with it with something like the Fallout, if they do a Fallout remake, or a remake of a prior Bethesda game that was previously on another platform is different. You got a lot more leeway because okay, big deal. They already have a version of that, an older version of that game. Most people will just take it and just accept it. But when you're talking about a new game that just came out last year around this time, yeah, I don't know. It's a slippery slope. So I mean, we'll see. I guess once the chip falls, I'll have a better view on it. Probably like by next week maybe. And if it's if it's the Switch, we'll have some words. But if it's to PlayStation, we're gonna have a lot of words, and most of them are not gonna be nice. So that's it. That's volume 2. I'll try to keep these formats short. And work on some other things. I got some other concepts coming up. Eventually, we'll get to creating a live show where people can interact. We got some ideas going on with that with some of the homies. So we'll see, right? So we'll just keep this rolling. Try to get one of these per week, short format, where we just discuss a couple of things, and then we check out. So check me out on X under Pixelated G, or well, preferably, come here, like, subscribe, and I'll catch you folks next week.